On Monday, the New York State Office of Cannabis Management announced the launch of the Legal Online Cannabis Activities Locator, or Local Map. The tool is designed to make the application process more efficient, transparent, and affordable. The first feature of the program is a map tailored for applicants, licensees, and stakeholders, featuring advanced analytics capabilities. And the second tool, coming out in the next few weeks, is Dispensary Map that will allow New Yorkers to easily locate the nearest legal dispensary. The tool can be accessed by visiting the Office of Cannabis Management's website.